What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Go to Trades from the Straw Hat Trading Channel. We back with another weekly analysis of the stock market, equities, and everything I'm looking for so that you're prepared for the week ahead. Look, last week's video was pretty good. I believe I gave you guys all the clues and keys that you needed for last week. We made a killing, the Straw Hat Trading community. We made a killing. We played Meta, we played Netflix, we played Nvidia. We went crazy. For me, my biggest trade was Meta. I called Meta last week saying that if I were to play any earnings, I would play Meta, and I actually did play the earnings. I explained why it was a good trade. We made about 500 to 600% on those contracts. Those contracts ran up to about 1,000%. It was amazing. Microsoft, we started some Microsoft calls and all that good stuff. It was a pretty good week, a very, very good week for us. And we want to capitalize on that momentum for this week. So, of course, just like last week, I want to go over just the stock market heat map of the S&P 500, look at the sectors, and just a quick analysis. I do think that we are pretty mixed. We do see a lot of green bars, of course, with retails, consumer spending and services, and yeah, that looks good. Consumer non-durables also look pretty good. But for the most part, we're pretty mixed. Energy looking decent, but also kind of mixed as well. Transportation looking decent, but mixed. A lot of mixed reviews. So like when I look at a mixed market like this, it's more of like, okay, we are going higher on the S&P, but big institutions are hedging. So that means that just in case that these growth sectors like technology, finance, if these sectors start breaking down, retail, then we're going to start leveraging more into consumer durables, into healthcare. You see healthcare looking pretty decent, into transportation, into utilities, things like that. So as I'm watching the market move up, I'm also looking at how big money is starting to move their money. So that's pretty important. And we do have some major news. We don't have any data coming out this week, but we do have some earnings, right? So this week is I would say it's not as like a big of a week as it was for last week. It is still a big week. We have a lot of earnings, and we have Palantir that's going to be pretty important. I don't think it's going to really move the market, but it's going to be important for small cap names and the Russell. So I'm going to kind of go into depth with the Russell when I start talking about indexes, but Palantir looking pretty decent. I want to see how that works. I don't like playing Palantir, but a lot of people do. We're going to see. I think the expected movement is like 16 to 20% on that. Lilly, that's going to be a pretty big mover. We're going to see how that works. Alibaba, I know a lot of people want to play Chinese names. I'm not really too interested in Chinese names. I might do some charting to see maybe this week, maybe on Monday or something. I might see like if it's a pretty good buy opportunity. I'm not too sure. Uber might be a pretty good mover. We're gonna see Roblox. A lot of people like playing Roblox. ARM is what I am looking for. ARM is what I'm looking for. This can really affect the chips market. And as we do our analysis for the chip market, you're going to kind of understand why I am really looking at ARM this week. Okay, Disney, also very pivotal moment for Disney. I believe that if Disney can print well, then we could see a pivot on Disney, PayPal as well, and Affirm. This is going to be a pretty good week, especially for the mid and small cap names. So if you want to see the Russell start getting some love, we got to see some really good earnings. We have to see good earnings, okay? Next, let's go to the dollar and U.S. bonds. Again, I like to look at the U.S. bonds and the dollars to kind of see like what's my sentiment of the market. It's like a risk on, risk off mentality. I explained more in depth last video. I'm not going to go too into depth. If you notice, I'm kind of moving a little bit faster because I feel like the last video we went to like 40 minutes, right? And 40 minutes is kind of long, like an hour. I don't want to spend an hour going over charts with you guys. Unless it's like a deep dive, and it's not. I mean, these weekly videos are supposed to be a deep dive, but I want to do some less stuttering and just get more to the point. So I think I'm doing pretty good so far. So let me know down below in the comments if you like this style of speech for you guys. Again, like I said in the last video, I am an engineer. I'm not a freaking English major or communication major. Look, guys, I suck at communication, but we're gonna get better. So the dollar on a weekly pattern, and I kind of explained this to my Discord. We're seeing a descending triangle formation on the dollar, right? So we hit these major extremes, and as we hit these major extremes, we are consolidating into this bear flag. We break down, we retest this major support, and we are coming right back up on this trend line. Here's where I expect to see some sellers to step in. This range is around 104.228 to 104.7. I don't think we're going to get to 104.7. I believe we're going to break down here on the lower end at this 104.2. We already seen weakness last week. And yeah, this is what I expect to happen. It should happen this week. So if we do see some type of movement, I already kind of drew it right here. But if we see some type of movement here, so we come up, we break, we can't hold, we come back down, maybe a slight retest, and we just poop. Right? That is the action that I'm looking for. We kind of poop, maybe another retest, and we just poop until we get to this support area right here. So this also looks ugly, but yeah, some type of action like this, guys. If we get some type of action like this, I expect equities, that means like your favorite stocks, to go up. What the stocks that I'm looking for, and I'm gonna kind of explain more, would be like some chip names, some tech names. I expect like for some more continuation. And if these earnings print very well for RTY, then of course I'll be looking at some small mid-cap names. But I do see the dollar breaking out. So I do believe that this week we're going to be super bullish. And if we do go into the week, like that, into the Monday session, gapping down, that just, look, if we go into a Monday session gapping down, right? If tomorrow we are gapping down, we're red, opening up the week, buy. Okay, that's what I'm looking for. It's not financial advice. This is what I'm doing. And just a disclaimer, because I don't think I said a disclaimer. This is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor, but I just like talking about stocks and patterns. Okay, and this is what I'm doing. Okay, yeah. So that's what I'm looking for, and that's what I like. For the U.S. bonds, same thing, right? Except you actually broke down, and I forgot to mention for the dollar, yeah. You broke down, right? You did break down on a dollar out of this uptrend, and because you broke down out of this uptrend, it's pretty good to note that usually when you break out of an uptrend or a downtrend, you usually retest, and that's what we're doing right now. We're retesting just so that you could break again, okay? So that's what I'm really looking for the dollar, and that's kind of what I'm also looking for U.S. bonds, right? So this is how it looks on the weekly, the U.S. 10-year. You could clearly see that you broke out of the uptrend, and if I kind of zoom in a little bit, you could see that, yeah, you broke out of the uptrend, and here's like the downward trend line that you're currently making. If you do, well, when you do retest this upper trend line right here, which you kind of did already, maybe a few cents off or a few percentage points off, but you come up, you retest, and I expect you to like keep going down and grinding lower and making a lower low. So that's what I'm kind of looking for the U.S. bonds. If that happens and you break out of this long-term uptrend, which I can zoom out and show you, this uptrend's been here since 2021. If you break out of this this long uptrend here, I do see a large rally, potential rally to happen. But it's also important to note that on the weekly chart, you did wick off this uptrend. So that's very bullish for U.S. bonds. So I personally would wait for confirmation, right? You're basically at a very crucial point because they are defending the zone, this 3.8 zone. So if you break 3.8 and you break 3.78, yeah, your equity should be rallying. But if you actually do have a failed breakdown and you come right back up, and you've come back up to 4% and you go up to like 4.3%, then yeah, you're gonna look very bullish on US 10-year, which is also very bearish for equities. Okay, so that's what I'm looking for. I hope I explained that pretty well. I think I did. But let me know in the comments if you guys want me to go more in depth on the macros of the US dollar and the US bonds, 10-year. Okay, so indexes, right? So we got the NQ, ES, RTY, Dow Jones. Again, for the people that probably wasn't here for last week, I explained the importance of these four sectors. NQ is more of the growth stocks. This is the growth stocks names. Like this tracks more of the QQQ, the tech stocks, and like majority of like the bigger growth names. ES is more of the general market. That's like the SPY, the S&P 500. RTY is majority of smaller cap to mid cap names. So that's pretty important for this week. And Dow Jones is more of the industrials, transportations, that type of name. Okay. So obviously the Dow Jones has been on a tear. I'm not going to go too in depth with the Dow Jones for this index analysis, but I'm going to be going really in depth with the NASDAQ and also ES and RTY. So starting with the NASDAQ, right? As I mentioned before on last week's video, the NASDAQ looks super bullish. You are in these extreme zones. I like to create my resistance lines as channels, kind of like this, and I like to call it like a zone, right? So these extreme zones are very important. When you're in these extreme zones, it's when you start seeing crazy rallies, and that's why you're seeing rallies right now. So we're kind of maintaining this extreme zone, so it's safe to assume as long as you stay above this extreme zone, then you should see the upper part of the extreme zone, which is around 18,500 to 19,000. Okay, so that's what I'm looking for on NQ, and I do have a template. Let me pull it up really fast. I believe this is the template you should follow. So you are bullish as long as you stay above 1747, around 17.5. If you could stay above that, which lies around here, if you could stay above this zone here, you are completely fine. If you are below this zone, but you are above this above 1717, then you are also fine. Your monthly close lies here at 17,265. But if you stay above like this zone here, if you stay above like this zone here, you are completely fine. Horizontal line. So if you could just stay above that zone here, you're completely fine. What's next? And I'm not, look, this is one take, you know what I'm saying? I'm not going to do too much editing, so I'm sorry if like things are like, malfunctioning while we're doing this, okay? Next. Yeah, if you want to stay, and if you also like break below 17.1, which lies under this zone right here that I just marked out, if you break under that, then you are in danger zone, and you are also changing the trend. So you are no longer on an uptrend. You are now on a downtrend, and this one we should start looking for like plays to the downside. Okay, so again, just to go a little bit more in depth for the people in the back, if you stay above 17.4 to 17.5, you are good. You should not be trying to go short in the market. You should not be looking for puts unless you know what you're doing. At this point, we're trying to break above. If we could break above all-time highs at around 17.8, if we break above and mount it, obviously we're looking for extremes at 18,000, 18,500, around there. So yeah, you're going to be extremely bullish. But however, if you do break below 17,411, as long as you stay above your monthly close, which lies around 17.2, around like 17.1, then you're good. But if you do break below the 17,162, then you are looking kind of scary, kind of spooky. Okay, so that is what I'm looking for, and that's what you should be looking for on NQ. Same thing, pretty similar with ES. ES is pretty similar. You want to just stay above 48.70. If you can stay above 48.70, you're good. That's your monthly close from January, monthly close. If you stay above that, you are bullish, period. Okay, and you're targeting extremes which lie around 530 to 580 to 5080. So 5030 to 5080. So yeah, that's what you're targeting. If you break below 48.70, but you are above 48.40, then you are in like a kind of like a yellow light zone. So this is the line right here. If you just stay above that, then you're in yellow light. But if you break below like 47.45, you have a trend change confirmation below 46.60. So I hope that kind of helps you. Make sure to mark those levels. RTY, I don't have a template for this just yet, but all you got to know for RTY, this is a very important month for RTY with all those earning reports. Very, very important month, very important week. So please mark these levels down. All you really want to do is see RTY get above 2030. If you can get above 2030, you are super bullish. You are basing around these support levels here, and there's some major support level. I personally believe that you're going to go up. I think you are at a point of 50-50 action. Like, you could go down, you could go up, but based on the dollar and how the dollar is moving, I do believe that we are overall bullish. This is a bullish market. NQ and ES are proving that we are very bullish, and RTY should follow. So I believe that these earnings report will come out pretty decent, and we will have a rally to RTY. There's just a speculation, but if it happens, it happens. You don't have to play these earnings. I don't think I'm going to play these earnings, but things might change, and that's why if you are in the trading community, you'll know what I'm taking, all my moves, and why I'm making those moves and all that good stuff. So RTY, that's what I'm looking for, okay? You just need a good week. If you get a good week, you're going to be good. And you should have continuation throughout the rest of the year. This is a very pivotal week. Dow Jones, like I said, I'm not going to really go too in depth with that. Next, let's go over the SPY. The SPY, I believe the SPY will continue to rally. You look super bullish on SPY. Super bullish. You rallied off of last month's close, which was at 482.88. You found buyers. You rallied all the way up to 494.35. So I believe it is inevitable you will get to the 500s level. I believe that you're going to try to reach to around 515. I believe that is the target. Around 515 is the target for SPY. You look really good. You look very bullish. Like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 weeks in a row. And then you get a little pullback 1, 2, 3, 4 weeks in a row of straight Hulk candles. So you look good, super good. Not much to go over for the tech names. Again, for the people that haven't been on this channel last week, I explained what this is. It's just a bundle of stocks that represent the big 7 or big 8. In this case, it's 8 stocks. It's Tesla, Netflix, Apple, Amazon, Nvidia, Microsoft, Google, Meta. These are just a bundle, just my own ETF, so that I can see how big tech looks, okay? So, big tech, you look really good. You are in extreme zones. You are attempting to get to extremes, which lie around 3,000, period. You rallied off of your monthly close as well. You look super good. As long as you stay above here, I have a template for this as well. Let's go down. Boom. As long as you're above your monthly close here at 2635.2, then you are bullish and you're looking for extremes of 3,000. Simple. Same thing with XOK. I told you guys last week that XOK, you are a buyer around 194 and 195. We didn't get there, but we got close. We got to 197. I was a few dollars off, but I was a buyer here. Once I started seeing buyers here, I stepped in, and my crew stepped in. So I like RTY. I mean, not RTY. XOK a lot, and I believe that you have a lot of swing opportunities here. I believe that you're trying to get to the extreme zones, and you're just staying in the middle of this range, which is super bullish. So I do think that we can target this 215 level on XOK. So here's where I'm looking for names like Apple and Microsoft. More specifically, Microsoft. I ended up getting into some swings at the close of Friday, and I may start adding some more if we do get some type of small pullback. If we do open up tomorrow, gapping down, I'm buying. I am a buyer, okay? Same thing with QQQ. I like QQQ a lot. Um, I do think if you can hold this monthly close, like I said in my watch list on my Discord, if you can stay above like this 417, you're good. You are Gucci. Okay. Um, and I would just want to see more continuation. Obviously, I believe that we're trying to get to these extreme zones, and extreme zones here lies around 500. You know, even with XOK, like the actual extreme zone, like if I zoom out, your actual extreme zone lies all the way here at 250. So think about it. We are at 202. So people that thinks like we're gonna get this major crash, I mean we could, but we have a lot of room left. You know what I'm saying? We have a lot of room left before we actually go down. Or I guess trend change if this trend maintains, right? So if this trend maintains, then we already hit the support level. We should be going to this resistance level. Same thing with QQQ, right? QQQ, our support was all the way down here that we hit in 22s. If we're going to continue this trend up, then 500, guys. Like, I do think this market is super bullish, and I think I think we're gonna definitely see in these few weeks we're gonna see a lot of upside momentum, and honestly throughout the rest of the year I think we're gonna see a lot of upside momentum. Obviously we're gonna get these pullbacks that's gonna come, and as long as you stay up to date with these channels, I if you can stay up to date with these videos, I will let you know like how everything looks, and you will be warned. Okay. Next we got chips, right? So chips, you hit a major support on SMH here at 184. You bounce back up. You are ranging back above extremes. You look super good on SMH. You look really good. Here, I'm already on in the video calls. And until we get up here to like 200, I'm gonna keep holding these. I'm also looking at some other names of chips, and I'm gonna explain them in a few. XSD, you also look good. You bounce back up from like breaking down off this uptrend. You are basing back into this uptrend. You have this little ugly not head and shoulders cup and handle here forming. So hopefully we get this breakout. I want to see a breakout above 230. If we do, you look amazing. Socks, you also found buyers at this demand zone here, which is also support, and I want to see us break back above this extreme zone and maybe try to test these extremes all the way to 650. That's what I'm looking for chips. I am very bullish on chips. Hopefully we get some continuations. So with individual names that I'm watching, this is toward the end of the video. Yeah, toward the end of the video I always give you guys equities that I'm watching for the week, and right now I'm looking for Nvidia, I believe that we're going to get to 680 this week, for sure. If we don't, then I'm a liar. I believe that we're going to definitely get to 680. That's what I'm targeting. This is around the upper extreme zones that I've been watching for a very long time. Yep. So it's around like this extreme zones that we've been tracking since May of last year. So I'm watching for it. Fib also tells us that it's 680 as well as the short-term trend channel here. So yeah, 680 is what I'm watching for Nvidia. You look good. Okay. Next, what I'm looking for Microsoft. I believe that Microsoft in the next couple weeks we're gonna see a large movement on Microsoft. I do believe we're gonna try to test like these upper extremes. The lower end of the extreme zone, maybe around these 450. I believe that we're gonna get to 450 in the next few weeks. Hopefully, maybe we might not, maybe we will. But if we actually do break down on a dollar, I believe this is a perfect time for Microsoft to rally. It didn't rally, even though it crushed earnings, and that's just because that I'm not gonna get too into that, but I believe Microsoft got snubbed, and we should see some type of upside momentum, just like how we've seen for Meta. Next, we do have Broadcom. One of my members asked me about Broadcom, and I wasn't too sure about it. Like I wasn't too sure about it, but after doing some charting and some analysis, I do believe Broadcom has some room to 1300. So I do want to see if we can get some action, like maybe get a retest here around Let's see what price is this? Around 1,200. If we get a retest of 1,200, I may be a buyer here, and I would try to target this 1320 zone. So that's what I'm looking for Broadcom. Last but not least, Meta. We crushed Meta. We made Meta our B word. Okay, I don't know if I could curse, but we made Meta our B word, and I want to continue making it our little thotty. Okay, so I want to see Meta just stay above this zone here. So what does this trend line look like, right? This is the trend line I told you guys about last week. I told you guys that Meta was super bullish because you've been consolidating for 6 months and then you actually rallied, right? And then now you came to earnings and you just kind of consolidate a little bit. We got our earnings, we broke out, and we broke extremes, which is super bullish, right? So what's next? If we zoom out all the way to 2018 on Meta, right? Here was the original trend line. The original trend line lied kind of like this, right? It was kind of like this. From 2017 to 2018, this was our original trend line. So if you were to continue the trend line, which we didn't because we end up breaking down toward 2021, but if you were to continue this trend line, which we actually just broke into, we could kind of use this as a relative support and resistance. Again, it's kind of hard when you're in blue sky territories, which we are, to kind of like see where resistance and support is going to be. But if I were to kind of guesstimate, which I'm doing right now and speculating, as long as we could stay above 470, I think we're bullish, and we have room all the way to like 515. So that's also what I'm looking for Meta. I want to get back involved into Meta and maybe take some longer dated calls for 500. But that's what I'm looking for. I feel like these couple weeks we're gonna see some more bullish action on Meta. I don't think Meta's done. I don't think we're gonna see any large selling on Meta yet. Okay. Anyways, that's what I'm looking for in the market. Let me know down below in the description what you got, not description, in the comments what you think. Let me know if you enjoyed the video, if it was cool, if it was faster than last week and more, I guess, informative. Just let me know. But that's really all I'm looking for. I might make a video in the middle of the week, so I could go over like more things in the market, just more quicker videos and stuff like that. Let me know down below and all that good stuff. Make sure you guys like and subscribe. Also check out my Discord link down below in the description, and also follow me on Twitter. I'm gonna be trying to post some charts this week. And yeah, just let me know if you guys have any chart requests or anything. You could hit me up on Twitter or Discord. Anyways, it is your boy Go to Trades, and I'm out. Peace.